Every morning starts the same way. You open your task manager, Notion, Todoist, Trello, Asana, and before you do any real work, you're already making decisions. What's urgent? What can wait? What gets pushed to tomorrow? Again. Different apps, different interfaces, but the same problem. You're still the planner. In this video, we're going to compare traditional task tools with a new category of AI task planners, specifically Motion, Reclaim, and Sunsama. I'll show you how different people actually use these tools day to day. And if you want to know which one suits your specific needs best, keep watching till the end. This is the Post Software channel. We break down how AI native products actually change the way work gets done, what replaces old workflows, what survives, and what quietly becomes obsolete. Let's group the traditional tools together for a moment. Notion, Todoist, Trello, Asana. They look different, but they work the same way. In all of them, you are responsible for the hardest part of productivity. You decide what's important, what comes first, when things get done, and how to reorganize everything when plans change. Notion gives you flexibility, but also endless setup. Todoist gives you speed, but no intelligence. Trello gives you visuals, but no sense of time. Asana gives you power, but a lot of overhead. So what ends up happening? You don't spend time doing tasks. You spend time managing tasks. Weekly planning sessions, daily reshuffling, constant guilt about unfinished lists. These tools are good at tracking work, but they don't manage time. They don't adapt automatically, and they don't reduce decision fatigue. That's where AI task planners work very differently. Here's the key difference, and it's a big one. Traditional task tools wait for instructions. AI task planners make decisions. Instead of asking you to rank priorities, choose dates, and constantly replan, AI task planners do three things automatically. First, they prioritize based on deadlines, urgency, and available time. Second, they schedule tasks directly onto your calendar, not just onto a list. And third, this is the most important part, they adapt when reality changes. A meeting runs long, a task takes more time than expected, something urgent comes up. Instead of breaking your plan, the system adjusts the rest of your day or week for you. So the question is no longer, what should I work on right now? The system already answered that. But, and this is critical, not all AI task planners work the same way. Each one is designed for a different type of person, with a different relationship to time, structure, and control. And to understand the difference clearly, we're going to look at three real people, with three different lives, using three different AI tools. We'll start with Motion. Let's look at Michelle. Michelle is the founder of a startup based in San Francisco. She's juggling product development, fundraising, customer calls, and a small team. Her calendar is packed. Her task list is long. And every week feels slightly out of control. The old workflow Michelle used to manage everything in Notion, sometimes Todoist, sometimes Asana. Every Sunday night, she'd plan the week. By Tuesday, that plan was already broken. One investor call runs long. One customer issue pops up. And suddenly, she's spending more time replanning than actually executing. The tool wasn't the problem. The manual planning was. Now watch how Michelle uses Motion. Michelle opens Motion and dumps her tasks in. No structure, no ceremony. Prepare investor deck, 3 hours, due Friday. Review contracts, 90 minutes, due Wednesday. Write team strategy memo, 2 hours, due next Monday. Motion immediately schedules all of this directly onto her calendar. Every task has a time slot. Every day has a clear execution plan. Now something changes. A last-minute investor meeting gets added tomorrow morning. In Notion or Asana, that's where everything falls apart. In Motion, nothing breaks. Motion automatically reshuffles the remaining tasks, pushes lower priority work later in the week, and updates Michelle's schedule in seconds. This is the key difference. Motion is not a task manager. Motion is an automated project manager. It decides what Michelle should work on, and when she should work on it. How Michelle maximizes motion. Michelle follows 3 simple rules. First, she estimates time, not subtasks. Motion works best when you tell it how long something actually takes. Second, she trusts the schedule. She doesn't constantly override it just because something feels inconvenient. And third, she lets motion handle urgency. Deadlines matter more than personal preference. The result, Michelle no longer plans her week. She opens her calendar in the morning and starts working. Now let's look at Daniel. Daniel is a product manager at a mid-sized tech company in New York. He spends most of his day in meetings, stand-ups, reviews, stakeholder syncs. On paper, Daniel uses a task manager. In reality, his calendar controls his life. He's busy all day, but at the end of the week, the important work somehow never gets done. The old workflow Daniel used to track tasks in Todoist and Asana. For planning, he tried time blocking in Google Calendar, but meetings kept taking over those blocks. Deep work got pushed, gym sessions disappeared, personal goals slowly vanished. The problem wasn't effort, it was that nothing was protecting his time. Now watch how Daniel uses Reclaim. Daniel connects Reclaim to his Google Calendar. Then, he defines a few simple rules. Deep work, high priority. Gym, 3 times a week. Weekly planning, non-negotiable. That's it. Reclaim starts blocking time automatically, not just once, but every week. Now here's the important part. When a meeting gets added, it reshuffles lower priority blocks, moves deep work to another slot, and keeps Daniel's commitments alive. No manual rescheduling, no guilt. This is the key difference. Reclaim treats focus and habits as first-class citizens, not leftovers after meetings. How Daniel maximizes Reclaim. Daniel does 3 things that make Reclaim powerful. First, he defines clear work hours. Reclaim can't protect time you never claim. Second, he assigns priority levels to habits and focus blocks. Not everything deserves equal protection. And third, he lets Reclaim say no silently. It moves things around without friction. The result? Daniel finishes real work during the week. His calendar feels intentional again. Now let's look at Alex. Alex is a content creator and consultant based in Los Angeles. His work is creative, open-ended, and mentally demanding. Some days he's writing, some days he's recording, some days he's thinking. Alex doesn't hate planning, he hates rigid planning. The old workflow, Alex tried Trello, then Notion, then daily planning pages. The problem wasn't a lack of structure, it was too ambitious per day. Every morning he'd create a long list. Every night he'd feel behind. Automation didn't help, it just made the overload more efficient. Now watch how Alex uses Sunsama. Alex opens Sunsama at the start of his day. Sunsama pulls in tasks from wherever they live, Notion, Asana, email, and calendar. But Sunsama doesn't auto-schedule everything. Instead, it asks Alex a simple question. What are you realistically going to work on today? Alex selects a small, intentional set of tasks. As he adds them, Sunsama shows how much time the day can actually hold. When the day is full, it's full. This is the key difference. Sunsama doesn't try to optimize your calendar, it optimizes your expectations. It keeps you human in a world that pushes constant output. How Alex maximizes Sunsama. First, he plans one day at a time. No week-long fantasy schedules. Second, he is ruthless about daily limits. If it doesn't fit, it moves to another day. And third, he uses Sunsama's shutdown ritual. At the end of the day, work is done, mentally and emotionally. The result? Alex finishes what he plans. He stops feeling behind, and his creative energy lasts longer. At this point, the differences should be very clear. These tools are competing to solve different planning problems. Here's the simplest way to decide. If your biggest problem is too many deadlines and you're constantly replanning your week, Motion is for you. Motion takes planning off your plate entirely. You give it tasks and deadlines, it gives you a schedule, and keeps fixing it for you. If your biggest problem is no time for real work and meetings keep taking over your calendar, Reclaim is the best fit. Reclaim protects your time. It makes sure deep work and personal goals don't disappear just because someone added another meeting. And if your biggest problem is over-planning and burnout, and you want clarity without full automation, Sunsama is the right choice. Sunsama helps you choose what matters today and lets everything else wait, without guilt. One important takeaway. All three of these tools do something traditional task managers don't. They reduce decision fatigue. They don't just store tasks, they help you finish them. To be fair, traditional tools aren't bad. You might want to stick with them if your workload is stable, you enjoy planning, you like full manual control. But if your schedule changes daily or planning feels heavier than the work itself, AI task planners are simply more effective. They adapt when reality changes, and that's the difference that matters. So here's the question I'll leave you with. What's your biggest frustration with your current task or planning tool? Are there deadlines, meetings, or just feeling constantly behind? Leave a comment and tell me which one sounds closest to your life right now. This channel is Post Software. We break down what replaces traditional tools and how to actually use the AI replacements to work smarter. If this was helpful, subscribe. We'll keep doing this, one use case at a time. See you in the next one.